Good morning. Can I have your attention, please? So good morning and welcome. I'm Marta Sapecki, Interim Assistant General Manager of Communications. Thank you all for joining us today as we introduce, swear in, and pin RTD's new Chief of Police and Emergency Management. To lead us off this morning, please welcome the Chair of RTD's Board of Directors and the Director for District J, Vince Busick. Chair Busick.
How about me? Thank you all very much. Thanks for being here. And before I get started, I just want to recognize a few people that are here. First, from our Board of Directors, we have Director Rivera Malpietti, Director Tisdale, Director Williams, Director Sloan, Director Deschelle, Director Rosenthal, and Director Geisinger. Also present with us is the Thornton Mayor, Jan Coleman. Thank you for being here, Mayor. From Mayor Hancock's office, I believe we have Evan Dreyer, Deputy Chief of Staff. Evan, hi Evan, thanks for being here. And in terms of law enforcement presence, we have a significant law enforcement presence here today. I want to thank all of you for being here, both from the RTD Police Department, neighboring jurisdictions, Allied Universal, and everyone else that helps RTD with regard to this important task. So, as the chair of RTD, it's my privilege now to welcome you here today to introduce to you one of our newest leaders, the person who in just a few moments will be sworn in as RTD's Chief of Police and Emergency Management. But the first item of business is I will now ask everyone gathered here to rise so that the RTD color guard can post the colors. Thank you, RTD Color Guard. I'd like you all to remain standing while we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the order. Thank you. You can all be seated. At this time, I'm going to introduce you all to RTD's General Manager and Chief Executive Officer, Deborah Johnson. Deborah?
Thank you very much, Chair Busick, and greetings to all of you, our esteemed guests and colleagues. It is my pleasure and my privilege to formally announce RTD's Chief of Police and Emergency Management, Dr. Joel Fitzgerald. Before making a formal introduction of Dr. Fitzgerald, I would like to share with you a bit about his background. Joel Fitzgerald was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and was educated at the historic Overbrook High School. He earned his undergraduate degree in liberal arts from Villanova University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and went on to earn his master's and PhD in business administration from Eastern University and North Central University, respectively. Dr. Fitzgerald joined the City of Philadelphia's Police Department in 1992 and served in various ranks before his 2009 selection to serve as Chief of Police in Missouri City, Texas. In 2013, he became Chief of Police in Allentown, Pennsylvania, where he served until 2015. From 2015 until 2019, he served as Chief of Police in Fort Worth, Texas. In January of 2020, he joined the City of Philadelphia Sheriff's Office as Chief Deputy until accepting appointment as Chief of Police in Waterloo, Iowa. In each of the 4 positions where he has served as police chief, Dr. Fitzgerald's selection was the result of competitive national search processes, and each of these appointments made him the first African American to serve in that rank in the history of each organization, including now the Regional Transportation District. As a result, his career reflects a commitment to conceptual leadership that promotes procedural justice, evidence-based strategies to abate crime, and integrity. Dr. Fitzgerald intentionally invests in an organizational direction grounded in the sanctity of life and other tenets of 21st century policing to shift police service delivery to more inclusive models that address the diverse needs of all stakeholders while concurrently enhancing public safety. Dr. Fitzgerald is and has been a member of numerous police and professional associations, including the Major Cities Chiefs Association, the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, the Police Executive Research Forum, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and the International Association of Chiefs of Police. He is a graduate of Harvard University Senior Executives in State and Local Government, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, National Academy, National Executive Institute, Northwestern University School of Police Staff and Command, as well as Police Executive Research Forum Senior Management and Policing Programs. In 2019, Dr. Fitzgerald became an elected member of the prestigious FBI's Law Enforcement Executive Development Association Board, where he now serves as second vice president. Dr. Fitzgerald and his wife Pauline, who is with us today, proudly serves as a special crimes homicide detective for the Tarrant County Office of the Criminal District Attorney, which is in the Fort Worth, Texas area. And they have 3 children, one of whom is a police officer in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Our officiant, the Honorable Judge Matthew Grove, will now administer the oath.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Joel Fitzgerald,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution and laws of the State of Colorado,
and the Constitution and laws of the State of Colorado,
and that I will discharge the duties
and that I will discharge the duties
of the Office of Chief of Police and Emergency Management
of the Office of the Chief of Police and Emergency Management
of the RTD Transit Police Department,
of the RTD Transit Police Department,
to which I have been appointed
to which I have been appointed
to the best of my abilities.
to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations, Chief Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Grove. And now, Chief Fitzgerald will now officially be pinned with the RTD Chief of Police badge by his wife, Detective Pauline Fitzgerald. It is my distinct pleasure to officially acknowledge and welcome our new Chief of Police and Emergency Management. Congratulations, Chief Fitzgerald. Please join me again in a round of applause. As I am sure all of those gathered here are aware, the agency's police force plays a vital role in RTD's function as a provider of multimodal transit services. The police division, soon to be reclassified as a department within the agency structure, is comprised of the Chief of Police, a Deputy Chief Martin Gano, an Administrative Lieutenant, Lieutenant Carl Ballard, 4 sergeants, 6 corporals, 2 K-9 bomb detection officers, and a team of transit police officers. The officers are assigned to 4 impact teams that are dedicated to bus, rail, community outreach, and a mental health and homeless outreach co-responder unit. The current division is supported by 2 911 dispatch centers operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, a video investigation unit, 4 mental health clinicians, and an outreach coordinator focused on the unhoused, as well as over 290 contracted security officers and secondary employment officers from 4 police jurisdictions: Denver, Aurora, Thornton, and Lakewood. The Transit Police Department's authority encompasses the 2,342 square miles service area operating in 8 counties and 40 cities across the Denver metro region. All of this to say, Dr. Fitzgerald, Chief Fitzgerald, will certainly be busy in his new role as the 3rd Chief of Police in the agency's history. Welcome to Dr. Fitzgerald to the Denver metro area and to the Regional Transportation District. I am personally thrilled to have you as a colleague, as a member of RTD's leadership team, and I look forward to working closely with you in the days and months and years to come. My sincere thanks and appreciation and commendations to Deputy Chief Stephen Martin Gano, who, woo! Deputy Chief Martin Gano has served admirably as interim chief since March of 2022 and will continue to support Chief Fitzgerald in his transition into his new role. Deputy Chief Martin Gano's commitment, dedication, and innovation are paramount to RTD's overarching success, and I want to say I am personally grateful that we are on the same team, and thank you for all of your support and all of your efforts. At this time, I invite Dr. Fitzgerald to introduce himself and to provide some remarks.
Well, first, let me say thank you to all of you for having a distinct interest in my installation as chief. Thank you, Ms. Johnson, for the confidence to be the RTD police chief. But moreover, I'd like to thank my wife first and foremost. You would not know how much it takes for a family to move cross-country numerous times over the last decade and a half. And having a wife that's not only a police officer, but has been a police officer in every state that I've been in, and having to recertify, having to get a new job, having to prove herself over and over again in every police agency she's been in. I mean, it's been a yeoman's job. It's easy for someone to come in as the chief of police. It's harder for someone to come in as a police officer, to work themselves up to detective, to work to special victims, to be a homicide investigator. I mean, she's done it all. So, the heavy lifting has been done by my wife and my family. Moving's tough, but the one thing I'm very happy about is that coming here, this has been one of the first cities, if not the first city, that she's been truly impressed with, and I can't wait to get her here. If any of our other police agencies out here are hiring, you gotta fantastic homicide investigator sitting right over here. So, yes. Now, that can be good and bad when you're a police officer, having a wife as a homicide investigator, but we won't go there. Let me say this. Some of the things that Ms. Johnson talked about, having, and Deputy Chief, Assistant Chief Martin Gano has done, has been innovative. And innovation and accountability are two things that will be stalwarts, that will be things that we brand ourselves in. I met the young men and women in this department. I cannot tell you to a man or woman how involved and how they've communicated that they'd like to be more involved in policing and making sure that those who use RTD, those who benefit from this, all stakeholders exactly, are safe and secure when they use light rail, when they use buses and trains, and when they're in or around our facilities. But they can't do it alone. They do it in concert with security. They do it in concert with our other brothers and sisters in police agencies, and they're willing to be innovative. They're willing to learn more. They're willing to be a gold standard in policing. So one of the first things that we're going to do as an organization is move towards achieving accreditation. That's something we've done in other departments, and it will not be strange or new here, but we will strive towards accreditation. We will leverage technology better. We will absolutely do things proactively and in the interest of all stakeholders that benefit from RTD services. And let me tell you, I took a little unscientific poll, really, when I was here interviewing and when I transitioned here over the last few days, and I talked to people that ride and that use RTD, and unanimously, those people, not knowing who I was or what I was going to do, just want to be safe and secure. They're empathetic of people that are unhoused and people that are mentally ill, and we certainly understand that we have to be empathetic and we have to deliver services and help them connect with services. But we also have to be firm. We have to understand that law enforcement is a primary goal and safety is a primary goal of everyone that rides RTD and uses our services. So it's incumbent upon us to refocus on our core values, to refocus on why we're here, and to be that police department that when you ride RTD, you say, I know I'm riding and I'm going to be safe, I'm going to be secure. Can we stop 110% of things from happening? No, let's be realistic. But what we can do is rededicate ourselves to ensuring that those who use our services feel safe and feel secure, and know that this department is a community policing agency and cares, and that every one of our officers and our security personnel and every member of RTD, really from a person that twists a wrench to CEO Johnson, cares about the stakeholders that we deal with. So after meeting with our police staff, I can tell you that we are moving in the right direction, formerly under Assistant Chief Martin Gano and now. And you will notice a strategic plan that really deals with what I'm speaking of, and that's gearing our services towards being visible, accessible, and being able to actively prevent crime from happening on RTD units. So I'm excited. I have to be excited. I have a great staff, great support from the top. I've met the directors, and they've been energetic, to say the least. But they've also been supportive, and they want more information, and they want to know what's going on in their particular areas because they have to let their constituents know what happens. So we're going to share more information with members of our board. Before I end, I'd like to also thank some people that came from far away to come see me be installed and acknowledge them. I have Detective Pierre Gomez from the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office. I have Assistant Chief Glenn Horn, Dr. Glenn Horn from the Stafford Police Department. I have Deputy Nathan Mallory. Nate was my right-hand man in the city of Philadelphia when I worked in the sheriff's office, and his lovely girlfriend. I just want to make sure we acknowledge the fact that people care about what goes on in agencies, and people also care about your history and what you've done in different places. And I was asked by one of the police officers, when you walk out of here, what would you want to be your legacy? in so many words. And I would say, one, that we expanded this police department the right way. We achieved SMART goals. We recruited for people of integrity and people that not only do this job, but do it with honor when they wear this badge. And we've empowered our folks to be a part of the problem-solving process. If we're that type of agency and we're a learning organization, we'll be 10 times better the day that, I walk out or Ms. Johnson walks out or anyone else. So I intend to move this organization with light speed forward, and there'll be bumps along the road. There'll be questions, but we'll be here to answer them, and we'll be accountable to you, the stakeholders of RTD. So I thank you very much for your attention. I thank you for your confidence, for showing up here for this swearing-in ceremony, and just to acknowledge the fact that so many people are interested in what's going on here surrounding RTD is a credit to not only our board, our CEO, and the organizational staff that are here. So we have to live up to very lofty standards, and we will do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Fitzgerald, and I want to offer my congratulations as well as our new chief. So this concludes our event today.